Here is the finished product. I'll take in a small little tour so you can see what I've done here. This right here is a 12 by 12 bar top. So it's 36 inches long and I think close to 90 inches from one end to the other. I can't remember the exact measurements. And then I surrounded it with 1 by 4 mahogany, except for on the inside I ripped it down a little smaller so that I'd have a little bit more space underneath here. Put a 1 by 6 on the front of the countertop. Built the countertop out of 2 by 4 pressure treated boards and secured them to the block with Tapcon screws. This is not mounted yet, but that will eventually be going in to the bar. So I have to cut a hole for that yet. I'm not going to have time before the upcoming party that we're having, but I'll get that in afterwards. So that's going to be an addition. And then down here I'm going to add some shelves and a couple spots where we can close off stuff. I'll put on a couple of doors, cabinet doors basically. So I'm going to build cabinets basically underneath there, except for over in this corner here. I might leave that open for either coolers or if I eventually want to get a small fridge to install, but I will have to run electricity out from the building over to here so that I can plug that thing in. I used 178 of these blocks to build it up to like 40 inches, I do believe. And then with the bar top, it's right at about 42. I did have to level across, so it got a little higher on the other side because my driveway tends to run down a little bit. So I think on this side right over here, it's probably about 43.5, and over here it's 42, but that's fine. That'll work out pretty good. It's better to have a level bar than drinks and stuff that are going to roll off from one end to the other. I'm going to be filling this area in shortly with more of these paver blocks. I did use quite a few paver blocks also. I think I used about 200 altogether. I built a nice floor in here and this all got raised up. This is something that I think just about anybody could build. It was pretty simple. The hardest part was getting everything level and set and ready so it would support the weight. But I think it turned out pretty good. The only other thing I still have to do, since I used 12 by 12 tiles to make the countertop, I'm just going to put a little bit of grout in here. I haven't done that yet, but I will do that probably within the next couple of days just to protect it. And then I just put a oil-based, clear oil-based protectant on all the wood. I'm going to do a second coat probably tomorrow. It's kind of crappy out today. I'm going to cover this bar back up pretty quick here so it doesn't get wet. I just want to give you a little tour here of the bar that I built, and I'm going to go through step by step how you can do it. Here is a material and price list for everything that I purchased. I got everything from Menards because I wanted to take advantage of the 11% rebate that they offer you, which added up to quite a bit of cash. Here is the beginning of the build. I've already raised and leveled the paver stones underneath, and I began to lay the first 2 courses of block for the walls. I was using PL 500 landscape adhesive to glue the blocks together. It made for very strong walls at the end of the build. I'm just continuing to add more courses and glue down the blocks as I move along. At this point, I'm about 5 or 6 courses in, but I ran out of blocks that day and had to wait a few days to go back to the store and get more. Since I was out of stone for the walls, it was time to level the floor behind the bar. I removed all the paver stones, laid in paver base and tamped it all down, then began to reinstall the paver stones using leveling sand and a rubber mallet. I leveled it from left to right and it turned out perfect. So I finally made it back to Menards, bought 80 more blocks, and finished off the walls in about 3 hours. I ripped down the marine grade plywood, laid that on top of the bar, and installed Durarock on top of that, and then dry fitted all of the 12 by 12 marble tiles. After that, I started to install the countertop. I used 2x4x8 pressure treated boards to build the frame, and I attached the marine grade plywood to it. Then I tap conned everything into the block. Here I started to lay in the Durarock, and I used screws every 6 inches to secure the Durarock to the marine grade plywood. Then I dry fitted all the tiles to make sure they all fit properly before I started to glue them down. Mixed up some VersaBond and glued all the tiles into place, and it turned out pretty good. Make sure they're nice and flat all the way across. I then trimmed out the bar top and the countertop in mahogany and used a clear oil-based product to protect the wood. You do not want to use polyacrylics or polyurethane to seal the wood. It will only peel and start to look pretty bad after a couple of years, and the only way to fix that is to sand it all back down and start over again. Well, the most important thing you can do after a project like that is to sit down, relax, and have a home brew, or maybe a store-bought beer. Either way, you're going to need to drink a beer after a project like this. I had a lot of fun building that bar. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you get something out of it. Maybe you could build your own bar in your backyard. Maybe use that as an idea to build something even more elaborate. I'd love to see pictures. I'd love to see your projects. If you have any questions, you can just leave them in the comment box down below. I'd be more than happy to answer them, and I'll try to answer them within a day or less from the time that you asked the question. So again, I hope you all enjoyed the process. It was a great project, along with many other projects that I did this summer for our backyard build with the patio and the planter box and the fire pit and everything else I put in this summer. But the bar was the top thing that I wanted to do. So have a good day, everybody. Enjoy. Oh yeah, super good.